Greetings all. Hi. My name is Mistress Carrier, and this class is going to be a really quick tour of Zoom. This really is a Zoom 101. This is how, and as we go through, we're going to go through things pretty quickly, but then we'll have lots of time afterwards for you to practice, to check all your settings, make sure everything's working the way you expect it to, answer any questions. And so we'll go ahead and get started. So the very first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to share my presentation here. Okay. So anyway, so Zoom for Athenaeum. Yes. Here we go. So again, this really is basics. We're going to go kind of quickly because it's not, there's really not a ton to cover, but I want to give you a lot of chance to practice afterwards.
So we don't have your presentation up yet.
Oh, it's not, didn't print it? Oh, sorry. It's the slow part of it. Okay. Is it started yet? Oh, wait a minute. I know what the problem is. It's I know what the problem is here. Let's see, share. Okay. Are we good then? Let me know when you can see it.
We are good.
Take a moment.
Yep, we're good.
Okay, great. All right, so let's go ahead. So the things we're going to talk about and practice are turning on chat so that you can leave messages. For most of our classes, chat is the way that you communicate and ask questions to the presenter. We're going to turn on participants so you can see who's there in the meeting with you. We're going to learn how to rename ourselves, how to turn our mics on and off, to turn on your video, how to share your screen, and where to get more help. So the very first thing to do, if you haven't already, is learn how to turn on chat. First of all, I want to thank Lady Alicia for allowing me to take screenshots of her class on how to put up your Athenaeum site, because Zoom does not like to share itself. So I had to take screenshots. Anyway, to turn on chat, there is a chat button at the bottom of your screen. If it isn't there, move your mouse pointer to the bottom of the screen and it should pop up for you. And when you click on chat, the chat pane opens. And as you can see, it's just a running list, just like most message boards. And okay, so you type at the bottom and as soon as you click return, it'll post. And so that's done. If you want to chat to someone specific, say there's a friend in the meeting and you want to chat with them, click on the down arrow and it'll show you a list of everybody. Again, this chat is where you post questions for your presenters. We do ask that you post to everyone, questions to everyone, not just to the presenter. That way the moderator, in this case, Mrs. Disa, will be able to keep track of them as the questions, as things scroll up and down, and also so that everybody else can see so they don't ask the same question. And a reminder, it's not really applying to this class, but if you have a private chat with somebody and in another Zoom meeting and they actually are recording or saving the chats, private chats are included. So private isn't really private. Also, just a reminder that Athenaeum is a PG-13 event. We don't gate for age, so please keep it clean and appropriate. So now that you've seen the chat, now you're like, so who's here? I don't know. How do I find out? You do is you click on participants. You could see in the meeting that Alicia was having, there were 14 participants. So you click on that and boom, you get a list of all of the participants right there at the top. Please note that also the chat still stays there. So you can see both at the same time. Now, let's see, cool. All right, so the next thing is, oh, there's everybody. So it's how to change your name. So that's usually the next thing people want to do. So to do that, when you have the participant list up, you tap on your name, you'll get a more menu. Notice there's also a quick mute. Click on the more and you'll get the rename. And there you can type your name in. We are asking that for Athenaeum that you use your SCA name. Titles are optional. If you're an exhibitor, please add the word exhibitor after your name. If staff will have the word staff or their job title under the name. Please note, like Disa, I think Mrs. Disa has the Zoom coordinator. You will have to change your name every time you join a meeting unless you have the Zoom app, and you change it on your profile there. Okay, so now that you have learned how to chat with other people, for your classes and for the salons, the Athenaeum salons, which you haven't heard about, they are going to be going on all day during Athenaeum on a different Zoom meeting, but they will be 1 to 2 hour chunks, discussions about whatever you want to talk about under various themes. So like, I believe they're having one on Viking Norse theme. They're having another one on sewing, on costuming. So you can join that meeting, but you'll probably want people to hear you. And to do that, you will click unmute, and that will bring up your microphone. If you want to be seen, you'll need to turn on video, and you click on that, and your video will come on. So some reminders about video is we do ask for Athenaeum that you're wearing historical clothing, garb, during Athenaeum and at the salons. It's just to kind of enhance our whole SCA event aura. We also ask that you please be appropriately dressed for a public meeting. Again, we're not going to be gating ages, so there may be children about. And we also ask that you check your surroundings before you turn your video on. Make sure that there's like no inappropriate thing happening on a TV screen behind you, or posters, or your dogs, you know, are causing havoc and chaos. Okay, so, oops, sorry, got to have your mouse in the right place. So to see, once you're in, you have your video is on, you have the option of switching between, well, actually, you can do it at any time. If there's more than one participant, person with their video on, you can switch between a speaker view, which is what you see here, with just the one person who's speaking, obviously, or you can switch to a gallery view. So you click, and that's a toggle. It goes from speaker view to gallery view and back again. Gallery view, it's just like the Brady Bounce Show. They did it first. Anyway, so that will give you, let's see, gallery view. So another way that you can turn video on and off and to mute is in the participants. Up here again, just a reminder. And you just need to click on the microphone that's been crossed out or on the video. And you can do that anytime during the meeting. For example, if you have a dog barking in the background and you don't want to disturb everybody talking, or if you want to have a side conversation with somebody in your house, that is a really useful, quick and dirty thing to do. Okay, so the next item, oh good, we are rocking through this. We're gonna have plenty of time to practice. So the next thing a lot of people ask is how to change your background. I don't know if you noticed before, but you can see Alicia is not, Lady Alicia is not actually in the Bodleian Library. Zoom, especially for current PC users, allows you to change your background to any image that you have on your computer, for the most part. It does not work on all computers, especially if you have an older one, and it doesn't necessarily seem to work very successfully on Macintoshes, but we can talk about that a little bit. Anyway, to change your background, you will, whoops, excuse me, go back here. Next to video, there's an up arrow. You click the up arrow, and which you'll see here, I've made it a little bigger, and you'll get the video menu. You can then, oops, sorry, there's a missing arrow. You should click choose virtual background, and the settings page will open up. And from here, there are usually like 5 or 6 preset backgrounds that you can select from. Or if, or you can add one by clicking the plus button, and then it'll go to your, excuse me, I showed that. And then it'll go to your library, and you can choose anything from your library. all I did is I just went on to the Google machine and I clicked medieval taverns and image, and then I just went and found a nice one that I liked that had good contrast and some fun detail. And then I just added it. And then all you need to do is select it and you will see it immediately as a preview. When you want to turn off your virtual background, you just click none. Whoops, and then to close the window and you're back. You're sharing there. So the last thing I wanted to show you is how to share your screen. Oh, actually, no, sorry. Yeah, how to share your screen. I'm sorry, I thought I had a whole section here on the Macs. We'll come back to the Macs in a minute. But to share your screen, so this is probably the most challenging part of using Zoom for Athenaeum. Because in your conferences, we're assuming that you're going to want to share your screen so that you and the person that you are conferencing with are going to be able to be seeing the same thing. You may also want to share a YouTube video of you doing something, or an image that you have on your computer that's not necessarily in your exhibit. So to share your screen, you will click the share screen, which is the green up arrow, and you'll get a menu that'll show everything that is currently on your computer. For example, I happen to have two screens, so I have the option of selecting which screen. You also have the option of selecting, you can see the Chrome, a website. I also have the option of saving a YouTube. You can share a specific document in Word, or you can share like an image in Paint or some other image program. I also happen to have my PowerPoint presentation here. So if you have your notes as a PowerPoint, you can do that as well. So what you do is you select which one you want, and then you click share. So that's how you would share a screen. If you wanted to share a YouTube, you would have the YouTube video up in a browser. You would click that, and then you would click share computer sound. That way the YouTube video will actually use your computer sound instead of playing it on your speaker, which then is picked up by your microphone, which is then shared to Zoom, which kind of sounds like you're in a fishbowl. But you click that and then you click share. So then there's also a feature which may or may not be working. It works sometimes. We haven't quite figured out what turns it on and off. But if it's working, there is a really fun little whiteboard feature that is pretty much literally a whiteboard that you can click share, and then you'll see some whiteboard controls. So you can draw, you can type text, and it's kind of useful for like if you wanted to do a diagram of something. Anyway, and then to close that, you just click the red X. Oh, here we go. So going back, so if you are sharing a screen on a Mac or an iPad, you will need to enable screen recording, which sounds much scarier than it really is, because it's not recording as in recording, putting it onto into a file. It's just recording so that it can share it forward. So when you try to share, you'll get a note that says, allow Zoom to share your screen, and then you'll have to open your system preferences. In a system preferences, there will be a series of checkboxes, and you will need to select pretty much all of them that have anything to do with live streaming apps. So there'll be one that says Zoom, you'll need to click that, and then you'll need to go down to your camera and you'll need to enable that. For example, this is here. So for camera, you need to enable it for Zoom. For your screen recording, you'll need to enable it for Zoom. And again, if you're also going to share files and folders, you'll need to also enable that for Zoom. So here's this tricky bit, in which we're hoping if you have a Mac, you can do that today, is you need to quit the meeting so that these features can be enabled, and then rejoin the meeting before you can share. So hopefully if anybody has a Mac, that you'll be able to try that during this class, and then that will be great. And hopefully then everything will work for you. Some people have also reported that if they had older Macs, and then just made sure that they had all the current updates, that they were able to share no problem. So Macs may take some fiddling to do. So now that you've learned all the different ways of sharing, how to stop sharing. So at the top of your screen is going to be your toolbar that used to be at the bottom when you're sharing, it moves to the top. And you can just click the red stop share and it'll go back to the gallery or other view. So I know we went really fast, but we are going to get the rest of this meeting, this class is going to be everybody practicing all of these things. But so you know, next Thursday, we are going to have an Athenaeum Zoom experience class, and it'll be, we're going to set it up exactly the way Athenaeum is going to be set up. So you'll come in, you'll be in the waiting room like you were today. You'll come in, Disa will make sure that you've got like that your name is changed and everything, and then you'll get shuttled off into your breakout room for your one-on-one. And then we'll repeat that again on, oops, sorry, the date is wrong.
July 12th.
July 12th, I apologize, it is July 12th. We'll be on July 12th. And again, I really encourage everybody to join that one because our sessions are only going to be 30 minutes long. So you'll expect to have probably 20 to 25 minutes of actual conversation. But we want to make sure that you get into the room and you are ready to go so that everything is working, you know how everything goes, and you can get the most out of your time. So, okay, sorry, one more. So if you need more help, obviously we're gonna work through any problems at the end of this class, but we're also in Athenaeum. There are going to be, there are articles and posts, including articles about how to use Zoom specifically for Athenaeum. And there also is a, if you are already a member, Artists of Athenaeum group on Facebook, which is where you're welcome to ask questions and you can help each other. Most of the staff is in that Facebook group, so we can answer questions for you there. It's also probably the fastest way to get the latest information on anything that changes. You can also, on the Athenaeum site itself, use the contact form and feedback form to contact Lady Alicia, and she will forward things to the staff as needed. And of course, there's YouTube. There's lots and lots of videos on YouTube about how to use Zoom to do various things. We did decide to share with them because a lot of them are very much like Zoom for your church or Zoom for your business, and had a lot of extra things that didn't really apply. So I had pictures. So there's the Athenaeum, some helpful articles, the Artists of Athenaeum Facebook group, and of course YouTube for more Zoom.